85 million for Hoyland. 85 million for Hoyland, KJ.
What do they think we're from Saudi? That's what it is.
They think that Qatar money's already here, bro.
So yeah, they think the Qatar's already here, bro. Like 85 million. Listen, I think this kid has got a big future. He's super talented. He's got a rare ability, which is to score goals at the in the way that he can. It's still too much though. Like, let's be honest. Like, he's had one professional season, one senior season at the highest level. He scored what? Not even more than 15 goals. How does that equate to 85 million? I can't do maths properly, but this clearly ain't calculating together. You know what I mean? This really ain't working. It ain't connecting, because 85 million for this young man is ridiculous. And I know Man United have tried to add players in. They don't want any of our players, considering they, wanted Greenwood on loan apparently. But hey, they don't want none of our players that we're offering. Man United need to walk away. Like, they need to walk away from this, because this is absolutely ridiculous. I am tired of clubs seeing our name and being like, "Oh, Man United, here's an extra 30 million on top because, why not?" Like, this Man United tax is real, and the only way that we can fight Man United tax and make that thing not become a thing anymore, and to make sure that going into the future deals in the next 5, 10, 15 years that we get a fair deal, is by walking away from these things. Yes, it might hurt us in the short term, but in the long term, we'll be benefit from that. So I'd say walk away, go after a David, go after another striker. We've got links to many different kind of players that can play that role. Go after them, and then we move forward, and then we try again. If we want Erasmus Hoyland that much, we try again and again until we get him. But we can't be dictated to like this for a player who's that young, that inexperienced. It's ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. 85 million. Oh, Terry. What is the world doing to us, man? Like, what is this?
Mate, do you know, look at this. I was talking to Dean, about this morning. I get why they're putting the price up. One, we're Man United, biggest, most famous team in England. Two, it's a hard one, right? So it's one of these situations where we have now moved on and said that he's our number one target. Well, great. If you're willing to pay 100 million, they're going to whack the price up now. If we'd have signed Harry Kane last week and we wanted Hoyland as a backup, we'd probably get him for about 35, 40 million, because they would see Harry Kane's the number one. But if you're making him the number one striker at Man United, there's going to be a premium for that. And this all stems down to poor rank. Listen, what we're doing in the transfer market is right. And this is what a lot of rivals struggle to understand. We're not behaving poorly this window. We're not. I thought about this morning when Dean was sort of saying it, and I was like, I got a bit wound up. And then I reflected and thought, no, we're not behaving poorly. We're not being dragged over the barrel. We are doing our best to not go above our own valuations of players. And I've been demanding this for years, so I can't be a hypocrite. But we're in this position where we've got a limited budget because of previously fouled campaigns and projects and everything else. And we're in a difficult situation. The problem that we now face, though, is that we can't start the season without number 9. We can't do it. And if we end up listen, I think Terrace's okay. We've seen the reports that his agent was. I don't mind that as a deal, but it can't be Terrace. I would, for instance, say we can't get a Kane or an Osherman. If you signed Hoyland and a player like a Terrace or a Mitrovic, you signed two of those three like that. Then okay, cool. They're much better than no strikers, and it's good. But if we start this season without any number 9, and we don't go out and sign a really talented young striker with the ability to take us forward over the coming years, we're really going to struggle next year. We cannot. Rashford, I still think Rashford, fully fit, can score another 25 to 30 goals in all comps next year. I truly do. But that isn't enough. You need another player or two contributing goals at the same time.
We need to get this striker situation sorted. Like you say, a Terrace and a David. We can deal with that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, an older striker and a younger striker. I don't, you can name them. Just we need it. We just need this. We just need this striker or two to come in and help Rashford score goals. Because boy, it's looking a bit sticky, man. Like
Yeah.
it is.
What about? I've seen a lot of Man United fans online want this guy. What about Joao Felix? I've seen a lot of United fans online talk about bringing back at all costs, paying big money. He's a baller. He moves me. Would you sign Joao Felix, the generational talent that is Joao Felix?
Oh man, I just went on a rant about needing players, but now I'm going to say something that makes it just will just contradict all of what I just said. No, like you just said, generational. He's okay. Listen, chat. I don't care what you say. You might not gonna say, oh, he's gonna be great. He's this, that, and the third. He's not generational. He's not. He's not generational. He's very overhyped, very overpriced. And I'm sorry, Man United needs someone who can score goals. He is extremely talented on the ball. He can do all this ball manipulation, dribbling, drift into space, half turn, whatever you want to call it. He can do all of that. But what we need is a goal scorer. What we need is someone who will fight tooth and nail to get into that box and get on the end of a loose shot or a poor cross or a wayward pass. They will do anything to get in the goal and score goals. He's not that. He's a brilliant link-up guy. He's a brilliant person on the eye. But when we talk about, I'm gonna coin something from Mr. Johnny Minerals. When we talk about minerals, yeah, he ain't got it like that. Like I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And maybe the move to Atleti, the £100 million move to Atleti was too early, or maybe the being at Atleti at a young age under Simeone was start for this development. I can understand those things, but that does not mean that we need to go and get him right away. So I would say no. But Terry, if you told me that there was we got another striker, we got a centre back, we got another centre back, and we got another centre midfielder, and obviously still a goalkeeper technically. If we got all of those, and then he said to me, "Oh, you can have Joao Felix on loan for a minimum loan fee and half his wages," then I would say yes, because I'm like, we have got the majority of the things that we need this summer. We have gotten. I am not abandoning Onana to get Joao Felix. I'm not abandoning Amrabat to get Joao Felix. Maybe this centre back potential that we linked to. Maybe I could swap those two around. Cool, but he's not my go-to guy to be like, yeah, forget what we're doing, get him now. Like, no, man, no. And I know Baller FC are screaming for him, Terry. Joao Felix, good in the eye. He's amazing. He's a baller. Listen, bruv, I am tired of these ballers. I am tired of these ballers who come to my club and do nothing. Like, we need a balance of ballers and efficiency. Ten Hag also recognizes he needs a balance of ballers and efficiency, because look at the kind of players that he's brought in. Casemiro isn't the typical baller. You know what I mean? He's not a technician like that. Mason Mount isn't your typical baller. He prefers Rashford and Bruno. He wants, first and foremost, efficiency. And I don't care how silky you are on the ball. If you can't give me that, then why are you here? You know what I mean? Why are you here? I listen, I like my ballers. I love Jadon Sancho. I rep and support Amad Diallo. But there's only so many of those players that I can do that for. I can't do it for 11. You know what I'm saying? We need that balance. And yeah, we need to balance it out, man. Like this, but these ballers, this baller thing.
Yeah,
Stop, man.
I look at it along these lines. You know, there's an interesting super chat here that says people want Hoyland, who had 12 GA for Atalanta, but forget that Joao Felix had 30 GA for Benfica. He did. He absolutely did. The thing is, though, it's when you 20 years of age is Hoyland, and you read about him and you research him, and there's a fervent belief that he is going to grow up to be a very prolific goal scorer. And he also doesn't play the same position. He's the number 9. And for me, Joao Felix is not a number 9. He is a second striker. He plays off the striker. You know, that is what he is. And the problem that you have is that we have Bruno Fernandes at Manchester United, who is exponentially better than Joao Felix. Now, I don't care for people's personal preference over which one they prefer to watch. Bruno Fernandes will create more and score more than him. And your job as a second striker is to score and create. That is your primary function. The same as a number 9, your primary function is to score. If you're a number 9 that can't score goals, I don't care about your link-up play and your pressing. You have to be able to score a certain amount of goals. Now, you don't have to be the most prolific player in the world, but there has to be an element of goals that you create and or score. It's literally your job. It's like being a goalkeeper. There's no point having the footballing ability at the back that Onana or Edison have got, but yet in goal you are terrible. You still need to be able to shot stop to a very high level as well. It's about the mixture. Bruno's better than him. I actually look at it and think, technically on the ball, Felix is much better than Mason Mount. There is no doubt about it whatsoever. But in the cold, hard light of day, they'll probably deliver about the same amount of goal output for you. So at the end of the day, why pay Joao Felix to look better? It will cost you more, but in the end, to deliver, no more than. If you're going to pay someone more, if you're going to pay £70 million in a transfer fee and then pay somebody 300 grand a week, they've got to deliver more, and they won't. Mm-hmm. And I think next season, if we see, again, Christian Eriksen in a more advanced position, moves me more than Joao Felix. I think Joao Felix is a baller to watch. I love how he looks, but he's inefficient. And look, Chelsea were a calamity last season, so maybe he improves. He also hasn't done particularly well at Ati. Now, there's a bit of a myth about Atletico Madrid. Yeah, when they play against the biggest and the best teams, they're quite pragmatic. But they're not pragmatic against every team every week. They attack more. And even then, he wasn't prolific. I do believe he left Benfica too young. I think he should have stayed there a couple more seasons. But yeah, it's right now, it's an absolute no from me. I think that money could be better invested in either players that are more prolific now or will grow to be more prolific in the future, like a Hoyland. Listen, how much money he's going to cost? I'd rather chance our arm and not sign Hoyland, not sign Joao Felix, and go and get Kane. It just doesn't make any sense to me, who is, by the way, is a baller and a producer. So, yeah, look, from my point of view, I know a lot of United fans want him. I know there's a lot that are probably over the last 5, 6, 7 years have, bought him on Football Manager, played with him on FIFA, rated him since he was 17 years old, and like, oh, this is our chance. He's a good football player. He could become a very good football player. But until he adds top-class outputs to his ability, he's never going to be worth the money that we're being quoted. And this is the crazy thing. You've got a lot of the Baller FC guys, so people like Lee Gunner, and I'm going to call Lee Gunner out here, clip it up and send it to him. That's normally your job, to be fair, KJ. Clip it up. Diego Simeone will walk if he's forced to get rid of a baller, a footballer of the ilk and of the quality of Joao Felix. Not only is Simeone not going to walk, Simeone is advocating for the sale of him. Now, this isn't... I'm not going to be bitten once and become shy on this. Odegaard being sold by Real Madrid, typically when a club is willing to let a very young, talented player go, it's a red flag to me. Now, every now and then, those clubs make a mistake, because I actually think Odegaard, you put him into that Real Madrid team last year and they could do bits, but they've had a vision beyond him and maybe it will work out for them. Every now and then they make a mistake, and Odegaard's looked very, very good at Arsenal. But the fact that Ati are willing to let him go and they do not seem bothered, they want to get a good price but don't seem that bothered, that is a massive red flag. When a team wants to allow its young players to leave, are they really that good? I remember Man United fans saying, we should be looking at Liverpool's Brewster, That guy's a baller. I've seen this. I've read that. Well, why are Liverpool letting him go then if he's such a baller? Well, I don't even know where he is now. Like, this happens all... Do you remember Man United? Remember Man United fans when they were crying because Angel Gomez was leaving?
Oh, hey, listen, that still hurts me to this day, man.
Yeah, I get your point.
It is what it is, isn't it?
And they're good footballers, and they're good footballers, and I wish I was at their level, and I wish I was able to do what they did. And I'm not judging them as in they're bad professionals, but we're talking about we need a team to make us European champions and Premier League champions again. And Joao Felix isn't that guy. Now, you may believe Bruno isn't that guy and Mount isn't that guy. That's fair enough. But nor is Joao Felix. The guy is being sold by a team that's declining, and he's still only 23. It's a massive red flag.
No, I heard people say, but it improves us. I was just like, yeah, to what extent?
How?
Maybe improves availability of someone who can play up front. Yeah, cool. Like that's fine. But how much better is that than having Martial out? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those ones where, like, if he came to Chelsea and was absolutely killing it, I would be like, yeah, I'll bite your hand off. But Chelsea need a striker or need a forward player. Why are they not going back in for Joao Felix? They are a mess. And you'll hear Chelsea fans say he was one of their better players. Why are you not signing back up? Even that is a red flag. Like, even that is a red flag. That a team that you want on loan don't even want you when you're supposed to be one of their better players. It makes no damn sense. Honestly, like, talented player. And I believe that if he went to the right club where they do just build around him, and he is the centerpiece, and he has a goal scorer in front of him, two wide men that can do the creating, and then he can just freely do what he does, then he will do amazing. But at this top tier level, luxury players are a dying breed, and you can't be one anymore. Like, you have to fit into a system, and it just says it all when apparently the only offer that he's got on the table is from Aston Villa. Like, all right, I might even, you know what? Screw it. I might see Joao Felix down the road and that. You know what I'm saying?
Mate,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
As I said, I'm not saying he's a bad footballer. I'm not saying he's an awful footballer. I just think he's good to very good. And Man United need more than that. With the amount of money he's going to, again, cost us, we need better than that. And I just don't think he's all that. Listen, I don't think when it comes, he will never be at Bruno Fernandes's level of delivery. Now, technical preference, you know, it is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? He will never, ever score and assist and create for Man United at the level that Bruno does. And if you're going to replace Bruno in the Man United team, it's got to be for someone that's more impactful than him. You've got to find someone better. And that's very, very hard. This super chat.